Do you get a sound coming? Pixidis, Abigail, good morning. How do you do today? Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, friends. I'm very happy to be here with you today. How was your weekend? You can lift your hand and speak by voice. Yanis, good evening. Yes, sounds good. Yes. Would you like to share something? Ask something? Please feel free. Shalom, shalom, Yanis. Very happy to see you here. Thank you for the text. Beautiful text you wrote on Discord. Excellent. Was an excellent one. Was an excellent one. Just a wave. The weather here is just moving all the time, changing all the time. Colors and moods and modes. Yes. Good to be here with you here today. Our topic today is the coin, the concept of a coin. What is a coin? The question is, what is a coin? How can we define a coin? The coin has, yes, would you like to answer this question? What is a coin? Metal, yes. But yes, the abstract, yes, it is from metal, that's correct. What is the characterization of a coin? Yes, heads and tail or two sides, yes. A coin has two sides. Usually there's an upper, and it depends of how we hold the coin, but there's an upper side and lower side, yes. On one side there is, so to speak, the value, the number, and sometimes on the other half there is a portrait or a description or a plant or a tree. Depends on the country. In Israel sometimes it's a harp, or sometimes depends of, yes, which country, which time in history. The coin has two sides, and in a way our lives too. The upper side, yes, the upper side is the infinite. The lower side, with we could say with a description, yes, or with a portrait. This is the manifested. Consciousness in rest. This is the upper side of the coin, or the infinite. Consciousness in movement. This is our life in space and time. The symbol is clear. The symbolic picture is clear to us before we continue. If not, please go ahead and ask questions. It's very important to ask questions, and then we see where we are at. Hello, Moabites. Hello, hello, hello. How do you do? Hello, Moabites. Hello. Again, the upper side of the coin, usually the value. Let's say a value of 1. Yes. This is consciousness in rest. Or the nomenon. Yes. And yes. Yes. Head, rest, tail, movement. Yes. Yes, Pixidis. Consciousness in rest. Yes. This is the infinite, or the head, call it. And consciousness in movement. This is the manifestation of the tail. Usually we're not aware because it's unmanifested, yes. But in a way this is our lives. Yes? This is consciousness in rest. This is in a way us before being connected to the birth called our body. Do we understand that? That we in a way have infinite existence? Do we understand the concept that we have infinite existence? Do we understand or accept that we have unconditional existence, which is not dependent in space and time? Do we understand this concept? Even for a split of a moment. Shalom and Yola, shalom. Our existence is not limited. And our existence is not, yes, in the body. Do we understand that our existence has nothing to do with the body? Do we understand this, or it is difficult to understand? If it's difficult, please say it is difficult. We exist regardless of bodies. It is difficult to understand existence before body. Thank you, Cindy. It is difficult. Yes. Because we can only understand the asset, the body, which is manifested. It's difficult to, in a way, to acknowledge that we exist before body. Because we are, in a way, the story connects us to the body. I've been taught the soul lives after. There is no death. Yeah? The soul is not limited. Yes, the soul is not limited. The thing which is removed, yes, is the caste, or this is the body, which is not existing thing. It just seems to us because the body does not really exist. Yes, it just, in a way, how do you say, a dressing? Yes, it's just a shoe. Yes, a shoe that holds the soul, just a stand. Yes, so in a way, there is no death. There's just a removal, yes, of the contemporary dressing. The body, yes, is a contemporary dressing. Do we understand the concept that the body is a contemporary dressing? Is a contemporary dressing. Yes, like there are seasons, yes. Yes, Janice, like the removal of, yes, this is it. Like the removal of a peanut shell, yes, very good. And yes, the essence is the soul, yes. So the body is what? Is something which is temporal, yes? And consciousness in motion or in movement lives, so to speak, around this body. I say around, yes, and we call this body, we get a name, or all of us get a name somewhere when the body appears, and we think that the name, let's say John, in a way is connected to the body, and John has nothing to do with the existence. But John also, not John is a name which is connected to the body, but the existence is not limited to the temporal dressing called body. So just what we have is life appearing, so to speak. What is life appearing? Manifestation comes, yes, there's babies are being born, there is a manifestation. So what happens? So how would we call a birth? Yes, this is like energy in motion. Yes, energy, from energy of rest, there's a motion, yes, and we see a manifestation, there's a birth. And what we call pass away is consciousness returns to rest. We say when people are passing away, what is the blessing? Rest in peace. Yes, rest in peace, because we don't even have to say rest in peace, because rest means peace, but still, there is no motion. Yes, when passing away, resting in peace, or does just consciousness in rest, does not yet being called to escort another life which is appearing in space and time. Pain in the body? You mean pain in the body? Whenever we feel a pain in the body, the soul cannot feel pain in a way. The soul cannot feel a pain. Yes, it's not from here. There is a communication with the body that we call pain. Yes, but it's not the soul. The soul cannot feel pain. It's not from here. Yes. Where the soul is, what is the source of the soul? This is the question, Yanis. The soul is existing consciousness. Yes? And it depends, we say part, but part which is appearing here is through, in a way, communicates through the bodies or through the happenings here, but there is just consciousness like in the air. Yes, the air. Now we breathe air. This is not just oxygen to the lungs. Do we understand? Yes, indeed. When God created Adam, it was the soul already existing and the body was created. Soul is there. Yes, the soul is there, always there. This is it. We cannot, this is a very interesting question that you ask, because it's the same topic that you mentioned a few sentences ago, that we cannot understand something which is not related to the body. The soul exists. Yes, consciousness exists. When there's appearance of a body, even in this case, Adam, there is like in a way a hook, and this we can in a way grasp. Yes, but before hooking, there's no, how do you say, cannot, not even imagine, because once we are in a body, there's like finite. The body is a finite, three-dimensional object, so how can finite catch the infinite? This is always the question, how a finite can capture the infinite. Or there's a beautiful example that a child takes a page or white paper and draws a little creature, yes, on a paper. It may be an animal or human, but it's like to ask how this little drawing, yes, can understand the one who draws him. Yes, because how the finite, yes, can understand the infinite or even catch. Yes. So, yes, there is a soul, there is consciousness existing. Yes. In a way, the body is younger, yes, than the soul. This is why we say that. I asked a few days ago about why do we say that in a way, the night is young. Yes, the night is the body and the darkness, so it is young. Yes, before there was a light. Yes, so the little brother, yes, the night is young. This is the appearance of a body. The body is a night. Is the place of darkness. Why, we can ask? Because when we walk and there's a sun, we can see a shadow. Yes, the body, like a tree. You look at the three-dimensional object as a tree or as human, you can see a shadow next to it. So the shadow is young, meaning its appearance is after there's a light. Yes, Yanis, what does Ani, what does it mean? Can you repeat the question maybe in a different way or reframe, because I don't quite understand the question. What does ani? I don't understand the question. So let's get back to the symbolism of a coin. Yes, like a coin has two sides, the upper side and the lower side, or the head or the tail. Consciousness in rest, this is the upper side or the head, and consciousness in motion or in movement, this is the body or our life or movement in time. So our lives in a way have in a way two sides. Yes, we always trained or educated to look in a way on, we say in English, the tail part or the lower part, which is the manifested. We're completely unaware to the infinite notion inside of us. Yes, in Rosh Hashanah there's a blessing, Sheniyeh lerosh, that we shall be the head, velo lezanav, and not the tail. In a way that we shall have a notion that we are also consciousness in rest or in potential, and not just the tail or the end of things. Because while we are the head in this kind of blessing, there's an infinite connection to consciousness in rest, to the potential, to the unborn energy, to the source of life. So this is why there's a blessing, Sheniyeh lerosh, that we shall be the head and not the tail. Because the tail does not have a power of its own. The tail is being moved because there's something that precedes the movement. Any questions or thoughts that you'd like to share or experience? Dome, you mean resemble? You mean adame? Adame le'elyon, this is what. So what is the question? Adame le'elyon, I shall be resemble to the upper. This is what you say. This is a verse from Isaiah, I think. Adame le'elyon, to be resemble to the upper. Resemble. Adame le'elyon. 1 second, I'll check the verse. If this is what you mean, I'm not sure. Isaiah 14:14. Here. If this is what you mean, Yanis, I'm not sure. When Adam was created. This is from Isaiah. Yeshaya. Yeah. This is the meaning. To be resembled to the higher, to be resembled to the infinite. Yes, not to in a way to believe that we are doomed and gloomed, yes, in space and time, the limited, the tail part or the lower part. Yes, the blessing is to resemble to the higher, to the infinite, unlimited source. We are unlimited. Yes, it is only the thinking or this mechanical notion that circles us, that always transmitting that we are limited and we are fucked and all those things, yes. But this is not the source of things, yes. And we are doomed, and there's no other way, and everything is closed, and nothing can help, nothing can break through, yes. This is it. This is a mechanical activity. Yes, 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 Cindy. This is it. This is exactly it. Yes, this is the tail. Yes, yes, yes. This is the conversation of the snake to Eve, and you shall be like God the manifested. This is the Ke Elohim, the God, the manifested Ke, Kaf is Kaf Adimion, like as. Kaf has the value of 20 or 2. You shall be like the manifested. This is what the snake, the serpent, offers Eve. You shall be like the manifested. And what is the manifested? This is a great thing. What is the manifested? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. Why? Because the manifested is dualism. Yes? So this is the promise that the serpent gives to Eve, and this is he does not lie. This is it. And you shall be like God, Ke Elohim, like the manifested. He doesn't say you shall be being. Yes, consciousness in rest. No. He said you shall be like God. You shall be like the manifested. This is true. And what is the manifested? Duality, sometimes happy, sometimes blue, sometimes good, sometimes not good. This is the human experience, regardless of who experience. Sometimes you meet a friend, it is nice and pleasant, and sometimes I was like, does not go, or he has a mood, or something happens, or yes, or experience. You go to the supermarket, so it can be not unnoticeable, and just go and buy things and just like a list. And sometimes something happens and it's awkward or not nice, and it's not because we did something before, because we always tend, but we tend to calculate, if I would do this or that, it would be different, the outcome, but not, because this is the nature of dualism, or the manifestation. Cold and warm, day and night, summer and winter, good and not good. And the serpent promised her, what? You shall be like God, knowing bad and good. So the serpent did not lie. This is it. Would you like to know the two? So you'll have it. But the two splits into more and more and more. Yes? Because this is it. How do you say, the source of knowing is dualism. Because it is impossible to know before there is a contact between two. Yes? So to know, this is the law. Or this is how it works. To know, you have to hit it. Otherwise, you don't know. So by the mere of using the word knowing, we already imply, or the language implies, of having two. While not knowing, and this is the interesting thing, while not knowing, everything is just nothing, or not knowing, this is just being, not knowing. You don't meet a wall in being. When Abraham sees the ram caught in the thick of the bushes, yes, in the moment of knowing, there's like struggle in knowing. He wants to take this child life, yes. There's like the moment of duality. What does it mean to take life? Can someone take somebody else's life? And he sees the ram caught with its horns, with duality. Yes, it's not so much the horns of the ram. It's more Abraham. He's caught. He is caught in the thicken of duality, thinking that he is the father and Isaac is his son. Just I saw a movie, I think lately, it was 2 weeks ago, and in one of the scenes of the movie, the football, I don't know, American football, they call it soccer, I'm not sure. They were wearing hats or helmets. It was a party, yes. And it was like, how do you say, college party, and the boys or the guys, they were like playing some kind of a sport. But since it was a party, so they were coming into the party while wearing a helmet with horns, with 2 horns. Yes, this is the duality. Or if you see movies about kings or how you used to wear those hats or helmets with 2 horns, yes, to ram the enemy. What is to ram the enemy? What is the concept of even enemy? Just like one against the other. So to ram him with what? With 2 horns. Yes. Questions or thoughts or experience to share? You're most welcome. There's a beautiful lore in the Babylonian Talmud that says that Adam HaRishon used to give a sacrifice, used to bring a sacrifice. Just listen to the idea. It's not about existing animal. Yes, just listen to this idea that Adam HaRishon used to bring as an offering a unicorn. Yes, so I'm almost convinced that at this stage of conversation you can also abstract the lore and understand what is the sacrifice of Adam HaRishon to bring a unicorn. What does it mean? At this stage I believe you know, or you can explain it. Good, Abigail. I saw once a video of a baby who was born without ability to hear. Hello, Abigail, and he was given after a few months, like 9 months or so, hearing device into his ear. And once they plugged the hearing device into his ear, he just smiled because he could hear. Yes, before he could hear, he did not have any expression on his face. Yes, there was no, in a way, emotional waves or effects coming through the ears. So he was like having like frozen face. And once they installed the hearing device in his ear, and he could hear hello and those just beautiful little words, he was going out of himself because he never heard a sound since the birth. Yes, so I can really understand you. So now I would like to ask, what do you, if does it arrive or goes into the ear? What is the meaning that Adam HaRishon used to sacrifice? Yes. a unicorn. What is the meaning of a unicorn? What was the sacrifice of Adam Arishon? Not sacrifice, but putting an animal on the fire or on the ropes, but to get closer. How did Adam Arishon get closer to God? By what? By sacrificing an animal with 2 horns? By what? Yes, yes, with unity. This is it. This is it. Unity. 1 horn unity. This is it. Get closer with 1. With multiplicity, we cannot get closer. Just can't. Questions? Pixidis, Felipe, Yanis, Eniola, Cindy, Abigail. Questions that you would like to ask? Today here is the 7th day of Passover, and usually it is considered to be a day in which the Israelites, the children of Israel, cross the Red Sea or the Finite Sea. And in this day, there's usually singing the poetry of the sea, or the song of the sea, crossing the sea, the Red Sea or the Finite Sea. The crossing, yes, the sea or the ocean of time. The meaning of crossing the sea, it's not the Red Sea because it's not a geographical sea. It's a concept to cross, yes, the sea of time, to cross the finite and to reach the infinite. This is the meaning of crossing the sea. Crossing the sea or duality, in a way, depart into 2 parts, and the children of Israel are walking in the middle. Yes, the children of the tree of life are walking in the middle with the infinite. This is how it starts. As Yashir Moshe, as Yashir Moshe, then Moses will sing. As Yashir Moshe, then, when there's a splitting of reality into 2. Because what is the splitting reality into 2? This is non-dualism. There is no 2. And when there is no 2, then there is a singing. There is, I think this is Exodus 16. I think this is Exodus 16. And it says, Sus v'rochbo tava bayam, a horse and its rider, yes, drawn in the sea, meaning duality. A horse, yes, and its rider, yes, both were taken by the sea. This is non-duality. The horse and the rider. Horse and rider captured by water. Yes, space and time. Yes, yes. Because the poetry or the singing is above space and time. Yes, it is up there. Because a word doesn't have it's not a tangible, though the word appear in space and time. We hear a word, it's in the air, but it doesn't catch any space. It appears in space and time, but it is not space and time. Yes, like we appear in this world, but we are not from this world. And then we go back to the symbolism of a coin. Yes, Felipe, I never thought the unicorn would be referred. Yes. It's a law that appears in the Talmud. Yes, but the Talmud was written in between the 2nd and the 6th century to Christ. Yes, the Talmud, the Babylonian Talmud, was written between the 2nd century to the 6th century, something like that. And it appears, the unicorn appears there in one of the texts. It's a story that appears in the Babylonian Talmud, yes. I found this word in a translation of the King James Bible. Do we understand the proverb about the word? Do we understand that the word is a transparent, it's like a sapphire, yes? It's like a beautiful gemstone or like a diamond. The word appears in space and time, but the word is not space and time. Do we understand this concept? That the word is like a diamond, transparent, translucent. Yes? It appears in space and time, the word. Yes? Do we understand the concept of word appearing? Good, good. Where do the words are coming from? How is it possible for us humans to speak in any language? Where is the place of which the words are coming from? And now it doesn't matter from which language do we speak. From the void, yes. But from where? And how fast does it come, the stream of words or sentences? Is there really consent or decision? Because if, let's say, completely different notion, we stand in the ice cream shop and we are asked to choose a taste for ice cream. And people will say vanilla, chocolate, any kind of banana, whatever they like. So there is a decision, so to speak, to make or to take or to receive, because ice cream taste. But do we, this is a very deep question, do we really give a consent, or do we really make a decision of what to speak or how to speak or how the speech will come? Can we say that with honesty? Can we say that? Can we say that the moment before we speak what we're going to speak or say? Or is it that the speech is just coming? Do we sit every morning in a committee with neighbors or friends and we vote for what we're going to say? and printed on paper, and only what is written on the paper we shall speak during the day, whatever happens, whatever comes. How does it work? How does speech is working? Where does it come from? Usually when governments, they want to take or to turn to the public of the voters, they usually prepare a written text. And they read from the text because the text was tasted few times or was corrected few times in a intention not to harm the listeners or not to take any extreme. Because people would like to get elected, they would like to get as many voters as possible. So the text goes through special people who are writing speeches and correct it 10,000 times until somebody comes and read the text, or they send the text somewhere to disseminate it. Yes, to send it in a newsletter or in the news in general. But how does it happen that each one, and just walking, just imagine this picture. You're walking somewhere and you see your neighbor, and suddenly you recognize and you say, hello, how do you do? But this is, we could say this is like polite speech or caring speech, but we cannot prepare for this moment. It comes in a way in spontaneous, on the moment. And what words which are coming, not the neighbor sat at home and wrote a speech, and neither us. It just comes in the moment. But where and who writes the script that we are speaking? Because also every moment that we are alive comes from nowhere. We never have lived this moment before until now. So whatever comes now is fresh. Do we understand? This is also the importance of those sessions, because it happens in the moment. There's no written text. I'm not reading a text from a book, nor you at the moment. Yes, whatever comes is present. In order that whatever comes is present, we have to be what? Alive. Questions? Sometimes people experience, unpleasant moments with friends or some at work, and they sit at home. Let's call it unpleasant, because they might, or we might, frame them as unpleasant. But they're coming in the moment. And what comes in the moment is the spirit of things. Yes, we don't need to judge. Yes, this is whatever we shall do, it will be judging. This is part of the mechanism. This is how it is built in. But what comes at a moment is coming. Yes, and just, as it comes, and just continue. The river continues. V'nahar yotze me'eden, and a river goes out of Eden. This is the speech. It comes in the moment. We don't prepare, let's say, paperwork of 10,000 pages before we're coming here. We don't sit at home and print 10,000 pages before we're coming here, or before we speak to a friend over the phone or write a text. It what comes, yes? It comes, and suddenly the fingers are typing a message, or we call, make a phone call, or somebody calls, and just there's a streaming. V'nahar yotze me'eden, and a river goes out of Eden. Yes, this is it. This is the river of what? Of consciousness. And then it splits into forehead, and then we have consciousness in motion. Do you understand? Also, if not, it's also good, because it doesn't matter if we understand or not. It's just the ears are listening, and it somehow goes. So what is the difficult or the difficulty is when the river, so to speak, yes, Felipe, when the river, there's no flow, when we don't speak to each other, and there's like a blockage. There is a stone above the face of the well. There's no streaming. Then, but once there's Venahar Yotze Me'eden, this is no problem, and the river goes out of Eden. This is the excellent. Eden is a consciousness, living consciousness. Makes me think about when we meet someone very spontaneous. It's beautiful because they're alive. This is the beauty of it. This is the beauty of it. You know, Israel is in a situation of a war for 6 months. Now, I don't know how many frontiers, but there are many frontiers. I stopped counting who's shooting and when and what. But every day we go for life. Yes, we go for what is necessary. And every day we meet different people in different places, in a supermarket, on the way, on the road, in buses. And it doesn't matter if we say hello to the driver or in the coffee when we pick up a coffee. People are alive, and whatever happens in the moment is living soul. This is why we always, because there is no need in a way to listen to the, to the constant stream of news of war and casualties, and this is impossible to conceive. But life is just living, and by being on the moment, take a walk or be for us in the bay or in the neighborhood, this is what is happening in the moment. It doesn't matter if a person speaks to his dog, or a lady take care of the cat, or a neighbor came with her grandchildren. This is things which are spontaneously happening, and this is the meaning of being alive. Yes, people are moving and talking and creating contact, even one word. And this is the meaning of being alive. And people always go to the doctor for remedies or take all kinds of pills, but to be in the moment, to see, because there's, probably you have seen in the news or you heard what is going on, like missiles from here to nowhere, and you know what to do. So just create, walk on the ground, just be in the bus with people without even talking. This is because there's a vibe. The vibe or the communication comes from the air. The air is undressed, meaning not all the air is occupied with bodies, of course, trees or people or flowers. There's a thin air which is undressed, but this is the consciousness, yes? So how do we strive here? This is it, just spontaneous in the moment. We cannot allow ourselves, yes, just to sit and to imagine, let's say, life in the next 10 years. Who can? Who knows if even it will come? We're just living in the moment. And living in the moment is amazing. So sometimes there are rockets, and sometimes the ears are, is it a drone? Is it a drone, or is it a Cessna, or is it a missile, or is it a siren, or is the fire, or is the, how do you say, aid? We call it Red Cross, or here we call it the David Star. So all the times the ears, it's more important than eyes is ears, yes? To always to listen what is going on. Okay, this is the this is the laundry machine, this is the neighbors, or what is the sound? This is all kinds of rockets are falling. So is it a sound with concussion? Is it low sound? Is it high sound? Did it hit the ground? Did it hit the sea? Yes. Is it how many drones are? This is living in the moment. This is our lives here, and this is what make, in a way, society, because Israel is a compilation of many people are living here from all kinds of places, so many languages, so many continents and cultures, but what binds people here together is all of us are living in the moment, because there is no other way just to live in the moment, and there's like very much flexibility. Because when there's a sound, so everybody's, going for somewhere to catch a shelter, or there is no difference here between most educated or non-educated, very, very rich people. The society in Israel is not so much, living, there is no much continuity like in Europe of thousands of years, people sitting and inheriting the land to their children, and people can accumulate so much wealth and land, and so there is no hierarchy here at all. Everybody's equal, and in a way everybody cares for his neighbor, even in the bus, for life. If there's a bombing at the moment that you're in the bus, everybody will take a refuge, and they will make sure without speaking that those who are next to them are alive, or they don't need any help. Yes, there's a caring without speaking, and everybody's sharing the same air. This is what's so special about this place. It's not a big place. It's a very tiny place, geographically speaking. It's like it's New Jersey. All Israel is like New Jersey. It's nothing. And people without speaking, there is a sense in the air. Life or death is on the thread. It's on the knife, like on a needle. Yes, life here is very, very fragile in a moment, yes or no. Yes, and we cannot occupy ourselves with dreams or plans. Just can't. We did not sleep for half a year or so. Yes, and yes, and we are here speaking, having those conversations which are in a way unconditional in what is happening here around. Because this is the meaning of being alive. Yes, Felipe, some days ago I thought about Israel as the other potential. Yes, this is it. They speak about it in the books as well. Yes, the Yod is the potential. Yes, everybody's very aware. In terms not so much of intellect, yes, but the heart. Notice every movement. We cannot live in denial. Just can't. Because to live in denial is to live in duality. Yes, Yanis. Yes. Caring without speaking, being alive, life. Yes, this is it. This is it, Yanis. This is it. So, whenever you have the time, maybe now it's not the time to invite people to visit this place, but whenever you feel that you would like to visit this place, maybe in the future, you are most invited. There is not such a place on earth. And I was asked so many times, is it alive like New York? Is it alive like London? Is it alive like in Berlin? I said, no, there's nothing like it. I did not visit yet South America, so I don't know how the cities in South America in terms of city life and vibe and so, but Israel is not none of those places, just none of these. In terms of how do you say, consciousness that moves like rest and in motion, it's just the tack 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 tack. We had a few times visitors from Europe, and they came for 2 weeks here to stay. They rented houses in different locations in Israel. They could not sleep, so they booked a vacation for 2 weeks. Yes, 14 days. They could not sleep for 14 days. For 14 nights, they could not sleep. Only when they returned to their mother country, they could rest. But being here, it is impossible to sleep. This is a wakened place. It is impossible to sleep. Once we were traveling to Germany, and there was a granny sitting with us at a 3-seat, and she told us she cannot sleep in Israel. So she went to visit her granddaughter in Mainz in Germany, and she said, there you can sleep. Nobody will bother you. Just you can sleep there. But in Israel, you just cannot sleep. So whenever you have the time or the will, you're most invited. Because this is in the air. And the only thing that you can offer someone is to share the air. And then there's a shared experience, so to speak. So thank you for being with us today. I would like to wish you a very good season and see you soon as possible. Toda and shalom.